So some of you guys may or may not have forgot about Nina Turner, but Nina Turner is actually running in Ohio's 11th district in the special election for the seat that's now vacated by Marcia Fudge, who has now been inserted into the Biden administration. Now, this race is really heating up, and it's actually a pretty crazy one. And it's coming down to two people mainly, and it's Shontel Brown, who is somebody who the entire Democratic establishment has pretty much for the most part come around, especially in that area. And then Nina Turner, of course. So she's kind of developed into who it is exactly that is going to be the challenger to Nina Turner. Nina Turner has been getting endorsements left and right. Just like a week ago, I reported AOC endorsing her. I saw Charles Booker recently endorsed her like a couple days ago. She's getting like national endorsements left and right from progressives like Bernie Sanders, AOC, Ro Khanna, etc., Ilhan Omar, those kinds of people. And the main thing I've always stressed is in these races, those do help. But honestly, a lot of times the most important thing is local support. This House race, if you don't know how House races work, it's like this carved out, and apparently the 11th district is gerrymandered to pack as many Democrats in as possible. The way that they draw up the districts, they make it so that, packing is how can we fit every Democrat into one district, and then overall we'll have four total districts, but like three of them will be Republican and one will be Democrat because we just stuffed as many Democrats into one as we can. That's the Ohio 11th. It's clearly gerrymandered. And so, House races, local endorsements are very important because it's a local race. The people in that district are the ones who vote for it. So your mayors, your councilmen, blah, 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 those kinds of people are really important. So it appears that the Cleveland mayor, Frank Jackson, has endorsed Nina Turner for the seat. This article says, on Wednesday, Nina Turner picked up a key endorsement as she looks to replace Marcia Fudge as representative in Ohio's 11th Congressional District. Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson has lent his support to Turner, calling her, quote, uniquely qualified to represent the district in Washington. Quote, when we consider the needs of the 11th Congressional District and the moment we're in as a nation, a moment that calls for a higher commitment to social justice, to create economic growth and development through the lens of equity, and to disrupt systemic issues with systemic solutions, now is the time to elect Nina Turner. She is battle-tested and uniquely qualified to represent us in Washington, not just in her experience, but in her commitment to the people. I know Nina and I have worked and served with her on many complex issues that positively impacted Cleveland residents, including greater educational and training opportunities for our children, new business development, and safe housing for seniors. I know Nina. Cleveland knows Nina. I'm confident that Nina will represent us, and for that she has my endorsement for Congress, said Jackson in a statement endorsing Turner. So this is a big deal because Frank Jackson is not a progressive. He's actually part of the establishment machine. So that's what was surprising about this endorsement. But I went through the lists of the endorsements that Nina Turner and Shontel Brown have, and Shontel Brown has way more. It's like the whole system, pretty much. Now, Nina Turner still has a decent amount of endorsements, which is what's really important in keeping her in the race. She's also raised like over $1 million. Shontel's raised like $60,000, but that $60K doesn't really take into account, unlimited super PAC spending, and we're going to get into that in a second here. But Nina Turner does not have nearly as many endorsements as Shontel does, but I think she will probably have enough, and so this brings Nina's mayoral support, I think, up to 3. And Cleveland, obviously, is, like one of the biggest cities in, Ohio, certainly. I don't know if it's one of the biggest in the country or not. I don't know the exact population size. But you all know Cleveland is pretty huge, so that's going to give her the upper leg on that one for sure, because that one mayor is probably going to be the same as like a bunch of the other mayors combined, right? Because they'll have smaller populations. So this is a really crucial one, and she does have local support. Also, keep in mind, a lot of you guys may not know this, she's not like doing some kind of weird like carpetbagging thing like Hillary Clinton did when she went to New York. Like, she's from Ohio. She had a career in Ohio before all of the Bernie Sanders stuff, She was a state representative. or state senator, sorry. She had built a name. She worked with John Kasich. They had built a quote-unquote working relationship together. Nina Turner built ties with unions and councilmen and all these different people, mayors in Ohio. She ran for Secretary of State, did not win, but, got like over 1.5 million votes or something like that. So she is, a Democrat from Ohio. That's who she is. And so that gives her a huge solid chance of winning this, essentially. But one of the things we're going to have to look out for here is it appears that there's a concentration of some Jewish voters in Ohio's 11th Congressional District, and it appears that the Israeli lobby has a lot of power in this Ohio 11th District. So it says, DMFI PAC endorses Councilwoman Shontel Brown in Ohio's 11th Congressional District. This is the DMFI PAC, the voice of pro-Israel Democrats. And so basically, they made it clear that they are opposing Nina Turner. That's the main thing that they're doing. This is more of an anti-Nina Turner thing than it is actually a pro-Shontel Brown thing. And so you can see they're just saying outright lies. First of all, I say, in a recent interview, Ms. Turner endorsed placing additional conditions on U.S. aid to Israel, a proposal that Joe Biden labeled, quote, outrageous. And unlike some 95% of House Democrats, she refused to condemn the BDS movement, whose founders believe Israel should not exist in any borders. That's a flat-out lie, by the way. BDS does not believe that at all. The founders of BDS do not believe that at all. There's just massive smear machines, like this group, obviously, that take part in these smear machines against BDS. That's not what BDS is at all, not even remotely. Do your own research. And then, as if the idea of putting additional conditions on U.S. aid to Israel, like, hey, halt your, your illegal settlement expansion, things like that, or it's laughable to be in opposition to that. So clearly, this is just, it's just crazy, man. I mean, it goes on here, trying to go off with, Ilhan Omar, and even, calling, really bringing Bernie Sanders into this whole situation. It's just, and this is going to be a lot of money. Do recall that in Ilhan Omar's race, there were hundreds of thousands of dollars poured into that race to support the guy that I don't even remember his fucking name. It was like Milton Shakes or something like that. I don't even remember his name. But they poured so much cash into his race, at least $500,000, if not more. So the Israeli lobby has a ton of money, and Nina Turner has definitely been critical of Israel, and I definitely think that she probably supports BDS. So that's going to be something that could definitely be like the tipping stool, right? That amount of money that they're just going to pour in. Now this is not even close to like a majority Jewish area, so it won't be like the sole deciding factor, but who knows, depending on how much money they are going to pour in there. But that's going to be one of the main factors in terms of looking at money raised, because Shontel's only raised like 60,000 or something, like measly garbage like that. Nina Turner's raised like $1 million. That's insane discrepancy. But once you account for, oh damn, there's like a bunch of super PAC money we're not going to know about for a bit, that's going to be thrown into the race, it kind of starts to muddy the waters. But this is really a proxy here, guys. This is effectively the same as the Cold War, where the Soviet Union is supporting North Korea, and the U.S. and its allies are supporting South Korea, and in Vietnam, same thing. This is the same thing here. Shontel Brown is the embodiment of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, these kinds of people. She is part of that machine. Nina Turner is the Bernie Sanders, AOC, Ro Khanna of the party, and this is the clash, right? Now, one thing to note is in the primary, there are a lot of people who are basically the same in terms of their platform and their ideology as Shontel, but I don't think there's anybody who's like Nina Turner in the race. So they're going to split the vote off each other, which is going to be really cool. But the thing is, there's a general election. I don't know how the primary works. I don't know if it's a jungle where the top two go to fight it off. If everybody just faces off, top two go to the general, I'm not even sure. Or if it's party, Republican, Democrat. But the race will be held in, I think August 3rd is what it says. So this is going to be a big deal, man. Really, hopefully Nina Turner can pull this off. But again, this is a proxy war, essentially what this is. So it's a pretty big fucking deal.